Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for day 2 of the Hong Kong Sevens. Now, the last 5 times that Australia and Samoa have met, it has been all Australia. But the same was almost said about Samoa up against the Kiwis. But last night, 24-0 in favour of the Samoans. It did have them top of the table. New Zealand, though, recently going back into first only because they have played that extra game in hand. But for New Zealand, their points differential is +0. So all they need here is for Samoa to win up against Australia by about 35 points, somewhere along those lines, just to really help out the Kiwis. But that will make it very tough. I see some people with a couple shirts on with the rock on them, and also a giant dinosaur with a mask. Pretty much anything that you see in the stadium is just normal for a Sevens circuit. At the end of the day, Hong Kong, they certainly know how to throw a party at the ground, and the atmosphere has been electric throughout the first couple of days. But looking through at the Samoan lineup, it will be Va'a Apilomaleko, Yuna Sioni, Motu Opitai, Paul Scanlon, Malani Matavao, Steve Onisai, and Owen Nui as the last man in the starting lineup. Then for Australia, it is Nick Maloof, Henry Hutchinson, Henry Patterson, Maurice Longbottom, Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach, and James Turner. So actually going with quite a strong lineup here for the Australians. They know that the Samoan side will come out there and try and absolutely pretty much carry on that momentum they created yesterday by beating the Kiwis 24-0, one of their most monumental victories ever. But Hong Kong, in their first game up against Australia defeated the Hong Kongians, if that is what you would call them, 43 points to 0. So their points differential is pretty good, which is why I mentioned about Samoa. If they want to help New Zealand out, they need to really beat them by a lot of points. But I believe Samoa will come in as the underdogs for this fixture. But do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, I should say. Dietrich Roach, the heck yeah. A little bit of a new look for him. Looks like he's not too keen on it either. He's just adjusted the strap about 14 times before going for the kickoff here. But Australia, they will be kicking off for this matchup, going from right to left, and weekends upon us. Hello, sports, goodbye, sleep, says Sebastian. Exactly right. We have got the matchup taking place between the Black Ferns and France coming up in only 25 minutes' time. Going to be a massive clash, and the winner of that will get to take on England in the World Cup final. Nice step from Dietrich Roach, but good low tackle made initially by Owen Nui. Ball bounces out on the side of Samoa. Motu Opitai to carry 40 metres out from Australia's line now, and Samoa have got numbers on this left-hand side. Short ball to Malani Matavao, unable to break through, and Steve Patterson makes a great tackle on him. 30 metres out now for Manu Samoa, trying to go through Pilomaleko, the quick step and winger. Now off to Onisai. One more Malani Matavao on the outside. The experienced veteran. Big shot from Henry Patterson. Onisai fires it back across. Pilomaleko. Owen Nui now looking to carve up the middle. Good tackle made on him by Henry Hutchinson. And also Josh Turner. Now Samoa, they have been dominating the position for the first minute of this game. Onisai looks for the offload. It's a bit loose, but it's picked up brilliantly by Motu Opitai. Missed tackle there. Now a little flick off. Scanlon just trying to throw it away to another one of the Samoan backs. Pilomaleko stepping sideways. Looking like they're going for a little bit more structure here for the Samoans. Taking it to ground. Malani Matavao goes off now to Onisai. This will be tiring out Australia, but the ball has been dropped by Yuna Sioni. And now it's going to be the scrum feed for the Australians. But that is a bit of a hectic start to the match. We have seen some incredible first minutes or so of a game of sevens. I mean, you look at Hong Kong versus Fiji. That's a lie. They didn't play. You look at Japan versus Fiji. Japan scoring in like the 9th second of that game. Look at a couple of the other ones. I don't think any of them have had the first opening set of play going for about a minute and a half. Samoa did not medal or did not get a medal, did not win a medal. We'll try that again. Last season, played in 4 bronze final matches. So they are definitely due for a big performance. But now Maurice Longbottom up the middle of the field. I believe it's going to be a bit of a foot race between Steve Onisai and himself. He's found it off to Henry Hutchinson. Samoa trying to defend. And it looks like they've done brilliantly. 10 metres out. And Samoa just managed to survive. Patterson hangs on to it for the Australians. Now they've got the advantage. Dietrich Roach fires off to Longbottom. Now one more on the outside out to Turner. That is James Turner. Not able to go through. And Nick Maloof will be joining the breakdown now. But Australia, they've gone from being on defence to attack. Dietrich Roach gives it off now to Josh Turner. Looking to attack the line. Almost able to go through. Lewis and 2 defenders in the process. Once again, protected by Patterson. Dietrich Roach goes off to the right. Longbottom looking to carve his way through just like he did before with that line break. Both sides defending extremely well, though. No one's really letting anyone through in the first 3 minutes of this one. Steve Onisai once again wrestled down, but they've been able to take it back now for Samoa. Out to Va'a, Apelo Maleko, one-on-one with James Turner. Stepping back, manages to get round him off to the right-hand side. Looks like Henry Patterson's really struggling at the moment. I'm not sure if there's an injury or something along those lines. It's going to be a knock-on from Motoa Pitai. It's unfortunate for him because if they'd have found their hands, might have been through, but it's going to be another scrum for Samoa, or against Samoa, I should say, in favour of the Australians. Hectic start, though. Neither side really looking like they're going to be playing this game at anything less than 1,000 kilometres an hour. Australia is currently on an 8-game winning streak against the Samoans, but New Zealand were on a 4-match winning streak, and Samoa were victorious, and not just victorious, comfortably victorious, 24-0. Maurice Longbottom, though, about to feed this ball in for the Australians. Now a nice step off into the hands of Josh Turner once again, crashing hard at the line over the ball. I believe that penalty will go the way of Australia for player not rolling away. Now it's going to be over. Henry Hutchinson, he is claiming that one. I believe the referee wants to go upstairs. I'm not too sure what they're checking for here, other than maybe whether or not this high tackle is cynical from Samoa and whether they were back the 10. I don't believe either of those ones are correct. Yunasioni, I believe he was not back the 10. Hutchinson slams it down. That is going to be the try for the Australians to get us underway for this contest. It did take 4 minutes for either side to be able to break through. I believe top of this draw managed to avoid the side with Fiji in the draw. So you certainly want to be top of the bunch. Although, there's the thing, we did actually see a very good game between Great Britain and South Africa relatively recently. I'm trying to remember who won that game. So Black Ferns versus France, then back to the Sevens, then on to the Rugby League World Cup, says Sebastian. That is the plan at this stage, yes. And also I should mention, later on we are going to be scheduling our All Blacks versus Wales. So my mum and dad are going to be doing the first half of All Blacks versus Wales, and then I will be joining in for the second half of that live stream. Then after that, we've got Ireland versus South Africa and also France versus Australia. And I am, is it better for New Zealand if Samoa or Oz wins? Probably if Samoa wins by a lot. That's probably the best case scenario for the Kiwis, but at this stage, it does seem like that is going to be definitely a tough task to do. Australia looking not too bad in the first 5 minutes of this game. Nicely taken by Va'a. Apelo Maleko finds the offload up to Paul Scanlon. Although the Samoans, they are still playing a very aggressive style of sevens. They are just trying to get every single line break possible. James Turner there. Nice sell of the dummy from Oanui. Almost looked like he was going to be kicking downfield. Wrestled down now by Turner. Slams into the turf. Opitai, rough ball over the top for Samoa. Losing a bit of their structure here up against Australia. Whereas in that first game, there was hardly anything that they could do wrong up against New Zealand. Nice run now from Yunasioni. Strong fend. Breaking through. Offload on the outside. Yunasioni still going after receiving the pass from Motoa Pitai. He's got the speed. And it's going to be the try now for Samoa. And also, we should do a eulogy in memory of sleep, says Sebastian. Yeah. I believe that's the thing. I slept this afternoon because I knew if I didn't, I would have been up for a good, probably 26 hours or so. So I was like, right, strategically, even if it's only a little bit of sleep, I've still got to sleep at some stage. And I managed to get about 4 or 5 extra hours. That may really work in my favor by the time we get to about the 10th or 11th hour of streaming. Yunasioni, plenty of pace. Henry Patterson tried to cut him off, but the mustached man just couldn't quite catch up with the flying Samoan winger. And if New Zealand beat Australia, they'll be in the cup competition, says Creeper Reigns, although it is all down to points differential as well. It's the other thing to look at. They do need to make sure that they win the game by probably around 20 to 30 points. It's going to be missing away to the side. So Samoa versus Australia currently sitting 5 between the two sides. But yeah, Great Britain were doing very well up against the South Africans. I didn't get to see exactly who won that game in the end. Well thought through, boss, says Sebastian. And I'm quickly going to check, though, to see who did manage to get themselves the win there. We will actually be in a different setup, by the way, for that New Zealand versus France Women's World Cup game. It's going to be taking place from the other setup we got out in the kitchen at the moment. Now, big run, Va'a Apelo Maleko driving forward. Henry Hutchinson tries to get in there. It's going to be the advantage and the penalty go on the way of Samoa. And also, Amish next Sevens one when I end my Sevens live stream for today, says Brandon there. So, in the end, Great Britain beat South Africa. That's a big win, Sebastian. You didn't tell me about that one. Oh, that's a bad offload. It's a really bad offload from Samoa. And now Australia are going to have the ball back and they can go for the counter-attack. And this is going to really hurt the Manu Samoans if that little bit of, I guess, a lack of concentration could lead to some points on the board for Australia. Still trying to find the offload. Dietrich Roach lures in. Henry Hutchison, man on the outside now. It's just a foot race. Malani Matavao going after Henry Patterson. They're not going to catch him. And the mistake down the other end of the field has well and truly cost them down. Let's go Samoa, says Brandon. And yeah, but the good news is by the end of tonight, we will know exactly who is going through to the next stage of the competition. So in between the gap of Sevens and Rugby League quarterfinals, I'll be able to do all my thumbnails, do all my tags, do all my descriptions, do all my titles, do everything, lineups. That was what I meant by the tags one. And then I'll have everything set out. So I'm good to go. Who did Great Britain? Oh, Great Britain play Uruguay in their last game, whereas South Africa play France in their last pool group stage. South Africa may miss out. And this, like Paula Dev says, annoy. Although that group with Great Britain, South Africa, and France could become that same thing, depending on how those next results end up going. Let's go Samoa, says Brandon. So now Australia, they will have themselves a lead at halftime, 12 points to 5. It's a little bit of a lack of concentration there for the Samoan boys, led to Australia being able to capitalise. And now at halftime, a 7-point in favour of the Australians, looking to make it 9 in a row. So Pool C's already confirmed that it will be Fiji versus USA. They are actually playing a little bit later on. Ireland and Argentina are confirmed in Pool D. And it's just more of the question of Pool B and Pool A, who is going to be going through in both of those groups. More than likely, though, if Australia win this game, it will be Australia and Samoa making their way through into that next matchup. The tries, 2 for Australia, 1 for Samoa in that first half. And hi, says Amelia, and also sweating me balls over Sri Lanka versus England. T20 is my least favourite format, but this is still a World Cup. Plus, we can be reasonable for the Aussies being miserable. Or we can be responsible, for the Aussies being miserable. That World Cup, it's weird, isn't it? How it's gone from, it's almost a tournament of two halves, if that makes sense. In quite a few of the groups, it seemed like a certain side's going to do well, and then just complete reversal. But yeah, hopefully England get themselves the win over Sri Lanka. Of course, you guys know my feelings on a certain Sri Lankan YouTube channel who copyright struck us. Hope that England can really just dominate them, bowl them out for less than 100. Is that too brutal? Might be a bit too brutal. And also, hi, says Amelia, welcome in. And hey, look, I make short after every game. I will do short, says Brandon. And there as well. YouTube shorts, a thing that we've never really done on the channel. I don't know whether or not it would suit our style overall, mainly because we upload too many videos as it is, and then we'd have to go through those videos and work out exactly what we are clipping type thing. And UK Great Britain has really dropped since their top try scorer retired, says Annoy, although they just beat South Africa. So they may have stopped the South Africans from being able to go through to the next stage of the competition, which would be absolutely massive for them. And that would be definitely something that the South Africans would not be too happy about. We'll just have a quick look at points differential-wise. If France beats South Africa, Great Britain should go above them. But if South Africa beat France, then South Africa will still go through, and so will France. On the subject of T20 World Cup, congrats to the Black Caps. They've been fantastic in Group 1, says Sebastian. Yeah, it is good to see that the Kiwis have gone far. That was a weird way of saying it. I wish we could cover some of their games. We'll try it on the sport, I think, as we get a bit further down the competition and just call it something that's not even the Cricket World Cup, but you guys will know what we're talking about. And for real, says Annoy, they did, yeah, in their last game. But that's a great fend, and that is going to be another try for Australia. The number 22, Lancaster, scores the try. And they have mentioned about our players are now allowed custom numbers on their back. So Regan Ware, he was 64. That was actually for his children. And are you covering England versus Argentina, says Brandon. I will actually have a guest commentator for that one. I believe Rugby Itch is going to be doing that one for us while we do Tonga versus Samoa. So we're going to have 2 commentary live streams going at the same time, similar to tonight. Such a hectic time of the year. I had to bring in reinforcements to be able to still cover all the sports that we want to do. And even the sad thing is, with the Rugby League World Cup, rather than starting at 4, it starts at 3:30. So that means we can't actually cover either Fiji or Scotland or their game, or Samoa versus Italy, which is a big shame because I don't want to only do half a game, because I feel like that's kind of like a bit of a tease, isn't it? You get half the game, and then from there, I don't let you know who actually finishes the matchup. And Romania versus Chile prediction, I think Romania can take it. And that's not just because you're from Romania. I do think they've got a pretty good side at the moment from what I have seen as of late. So I hope they get themselves a decent win. Chile, though, they were able to beat the USA. So it's going to be an intriguing one. I think it's going to be a game separated by only about 7 to 10 points, though, in either team's favor. But I think Romania should be able to take it. Are they at home, Romania, Sebastian? Or is it Chile who are at home? That was a big shot from Samoa. They've said, if you're going to stand still, we might as well try and break one of your ribs while we're at it. Now a run down the wing. Motu Opita. In fact, it's Owen Nui. Great fend. Keeps himself in the field of play and does score the try. Oh, okay. Josh Turner's going to be apologizing for that late tackle. He didn't mean to do it, and unfortunately for him, he's going to end up going to the bin for 2 minutes. Josh Turner just saying he didn't mean to. And Va'apelo Maliko not too happy with the fact that Josh Turner did put that late shot on. It looks like maybe there's a bit of an injury here for Owen Nui. I would say if Owen Nui got up, then they wouldn't have been as angry about it, because he might be injured, though. I think that is why they are not too happy. But Valvasa Afasua just tried to take that mustache straight off the face of Henry Patterson in that shot. And you need Pulik Drabic. And then says Brandon also, we have got the go home game for us. Says Sebastian, and Samoan want to play for Man U. Says Hanoi. But yeah, that late hit, it was relatively late. Kick's gone over as well. So now it's going to make the score 17 points for Australia, 12 for the Samoans. If they can keep on scoring here throughout the next 2 minutes, this could be what the New Zealanders need to have half an edge of being able to make their way through to the next stage of the competition. But Australia at the moment, their points differential is certainly better after the way that they played up against Hong Kong. New Zealand only getting themselves about a 20-point win. Did you watch Canada versus England? I only saw a few little updates on my phone rather than watching it, but I did see that it was a closer game than a lot of people anticipated. England getting themselves the narrow victory through the World Cup final to take on either New Zealand or France, which of course, being from New Zealand, we do hope the Black Ferns can get the job done. It's going to be a tough game though. Go Samoa, says Akanesi, and also we'll get Let's Go Samoa, make some people mind-blowing. And the score, please, says Salafina currently sitting at 12 points to 17. So the scoreboard just a little bit slow, but also there is still 3.5 minutes left. Samoa with that late shot after scoring the try, they actually get themselves the penalty in the process as well. Now going off to the short side, Malani Matavao running with some open space, and Samoa, they've got the man advantage. They're going to try and make the most of it. Nice tackle made by Kai Oates. I believe that's going to be another advantage in favor of the Manu Samoans also. Now Yuna Sione could go on the outside. Nice double step, doesn't find the offload, going back for another penalty in favor of Samoa. Now Letufea takes it quickly, wasn't on the mark. They're going to have to go back to where the penalty was from. To be fair, he was only like half a metre from that mark, but they are now going to have themselves a scrum feed that will lure in a few more defenders. And also, let's go Samoa. Says Brandon, also Talafalove Uso. Says Max Daddy, welcome in to the live stream, mate. Samoa currently down by 5, but certainly going to have a good opportunity here. England versus New Zealand, all finals, T20 World Cup, Women's Rugby World Cup, Rugby League World Cup, says Sebastian. I mean, it would be ideal for us being from New Zealand and England, although I feel like the world would turn against it, wouldn't they? Nice step forward, almost through. For it was in the end Owen Nui now going for the passes across here. Samoa to the left. Now Va'apelo Maliko carves his way through. And I think he's trying to ask for the high shot as well. Maurice Longbottom. It's going to be a penalty only, Maurice Longbottom. He's disappointed. Va'apelo Maliko was staying down. I think he's having a bit of a conversation with Maurice Longbottom as well. I think he puts the thumbs up. I think he tried to milk that one a little bit. Va'apelo Maliko and Whamalosi says Salafina. But that one, he was ducking down, then held his face and said, ow, and then went, no, I'm good. I'm good. That one's missed. So now the score is going to be 17-all between these two sides. The last thing we want is this game to go to any golden point, but I don't believe it can because it is just a regular game. So yeah, ends up getting hit on the shoulder, then said, ow, that really hurt. Maurice Longbottom goes, are you okay? And Va'apelo Maliko pretty much goes, yeah, I'm fine. Why you ask? I'm making it best. I'm making it a best of 3 in major competition finals. Wouldn't be fair for the rest of the world, would it? Says Sebastian. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be annoyed at the domination in some regards. But, that was a almost hospital pass. But Australia just going to hang on to it. 1 minute left on the clock, and Samoa secure themselves their spot. Great work from Milani Matavao. And also, we have got Maliko practicing the football acting skills, says the new age. And come on, boys, my heart is cracking. And heck yeah, get the points of Alofa. See his mark there. So now, what did I... Oh, they're going to have the shot at goal here for Samoa. This is risky. Very risky. But Milani Matavao to line up a kick from about 40 meters out. Or about 35. But it's still way too far to be going for a conversion from this close to the end of the game. He struck it. He's missed it by a lot for Milani Matavao. And all that's done is given the possession back to Australia. You have to question the tactics from Samoa. Definitely now with another attack opening up for Australia. Luckily, Samoa get themselves another penalty. I doubt they're going to go for the 3 this time. Apilo Maleko takes the quick tap. This is what they should have done with the last one. I think is clear to see there for Samoa. Now Letufea goes off into the hands of Steve Onisai. Sioni trying to go through, finds another offload. Scanlon does well to hang on to it. Now back across. Valvasa Fasua. One more to Milani Matavao. The time will be up as soon as this ball goes out. Bava Apilo Maleko for the corner. Has scored it for the Samoans, and they get themselves the last second victory. He has collapsed. Apilo Maleko. That is his third of the Hong Kong Sevens. Samoa take it right at the end of the contest. See, that is what they should have done with the last one, rather than going for a drop kick from so far out. And also for Amalossi boys and bad, says Jan. And New Zealand versus Australia final in the Women's Rugby League World Cup, though, says Cooper Cronk. And yes, Samoa, says Brandon. Let's go, boys. Keep it up and come on, Samoa, says Akanesi. But they have got themselves the victory there, Samoa. They will move up to 6 points, and that confirms their spot in the quarterfinals of the Hong Kong Sevens. They've still got an upcoming game that they will be playing up against Hong Kong. But in that game, they will certainly be looking to get themselves a large win. I should mention, they broke a 4-match losing streak to New Zealand. They broke an 8-match losing streak to Australia. Is this the competition that Samoa get themselves finally a bronze or above? And at the moment, it's looking like they're going for nothing less than the gold with the way they've been playing. And also, heck yeah, heart of the people, and never lost faith, says Max, and nice, says DA, and that there as well. But a great win for Manu Samoa, and thank you, Manu. You have made my day, says Salafina. So yeah, be sure to tune in a little bit later on tonight when they do play Hong Kong. We will be keeping you guys informed what is happening in that matchup, and that one will be taking place in 3 hours 14 time, 10:35 p.m. is when that match will be taking place. And that was a great game, says Akanisi, and thanks for the brilliant commentating, just like I was there, who says Max. No worries at all, and we have got plenty more coming up, including the next game that we are covering is actually a Women's Rugby World Cup matchup between New Zealand and France. Should be entertaining. We will be with my mum for that live commentary. And yeah, it's going to be a very exciting game coming to you guys live in only about 5 minutes or so time. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.